Now, hey, if y'all have landed on this video, you're probably either new to Amazon selling or you're thinking about becoming an Amazon seller. Either way, you're wondering, where's the money? Good sis, what's the easiest and the quickest way for me to make my first 1,000? And I'm here to help because I'm gonna tell you how I did it. Let's get into it. So, in order for me to share with you the best way for you to make your first $1,000, we need to back it up a little bit. So, hopefully you have an understanding of what retail arbitrage is and what online arbitrage is. And if you're not, it's okay, because like I said, I'm here to help. Retail arbitrage involves you buying products from a physical store to be sold for profit on Amazon. Some of the stores include Marshalls, Ross, TJ Maxx, CVS, Walgreens, and the list goes on. On the flip side of that, online arbitrage is where you find products at an online retailer to do the exact same thing, to sell for profit on Amazon. And those retailers can include stores like Sephora, Kohl's, CVS, Walgreens, and the list goes on. Okay, so a quick rundown of the pros and cons of going either way are: if you're doing it online, it is more scalable. Also, it's less time consuming because you're not running around to all the different stores having to go shop in person. Now, retail arbitrage, while it's a little bit more time consuming because you're having to go out, run around to the different stores to find the deals, it also presents an opportunity for you to get some unique finds, some things that you might not be able to find, say online. And also it could just be like a lower, entry, like you won't have to spend as much money to get in on it if you're doing it in person versus online. So that's one of the beauties of it. Now, for us, it's funny because I enjoyed doing online arbitrage way more than I liked going to the store, and my boyfriend really liked doing the retail part of it. So even though like both of us kind of like swayed one way over the other, because we were both interested in either side, we ended up doing both. But funny enough, we ended up making most of our money doing online arbitrage. Now, that's not to say that we didn't make tons of money doing retail arbitrage. We just made so much more, like significantly more. Like the bulk of our money came from online arbitrage. And I think part of that was because like stores closed at a certain time, and also because like we're working our jobs and, you know, doing all these other things, we were only able to run to the stores when time permitted itself. But what we were able to do with the online is, you know, midnight, 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, whenever it was we couldn't sleep, we could be online chasing deals, purchasing things, and then either doing it ship to store, or you know, pick up at the store, I'm sorry, or getting it delivered to our home. So it's like it didn't matter whether or not the stores were open or closed, we were able to still chase those deals online. And for me, I think the reason why I enjoy doing online better is because just like being out at the stores amongst people, like when they're crowded trying to find things, and then people being in your business, did present its certain challenges. And then you might feel like a little hesitant or insecure when you first start about like doing it and whipping out your phone to like, you know, look up all the proper information that you need to decide whether or not it's a good deal. And I was able to like do that from the comfort of my home and take my time when I did it with an online, which just made me feel better. Now, with both of them, you do have to have patience, because the thing about it is like going out to the stores can be a hit or miss. You can go to a store one week, find a bunch of product, go the next week and not find so much. But the name of the game is you have to hop around to the different stores. Like, you can't just go, okay, this week this Burlington had a lot of stuff, and then you go back the following week, and if they don't necessarily have the things that you're looking for, you can't give up. You have to be willing to hop around to other stores. Now, we did Amazon selling from December until about March, April of 2024, and in that time frame, we like made a lot of money. The only reason that we ended up quitting was just because it was very time consuming, just overall with everything that we had going on, and we're interested in more passive forms of income just because we were doing FBM, we were not doing FBA, and FBM is where it's fulfilled by merchants. So anything that we shipped out, we were the ones bringing it to the post office, versus with the FBA, it would be fulfilled by Amazon, and Amazon would, you know, take care of all the shipping for you. And we did that partially just because we wanted to get our feet wet, and we could control our inventory more closely and more quickly if we kept it in the beginning, because a lot of it's just like figuring out a rhyme and reason of what will sell. And when you're first starting, it's like a crash course in Amazon selling, just to like figure out what sells, what should you be selling, what'll sell quick, and you really have to get your feet wet with that. And you don't want to end up like buying some things, have it sitting in the warehouse, it's not moving, it's not selling, and then you're like, oh no, what do I do? So FBM for us just gave us more flexibility, and had we stayed selling, our goal was to switch over to FBA, but we, you know, ended up leaving it alone way before we got to that point. But anywho, so like I said, with both, I went off on a little tangent. With both, you do have to have a lot of patience. With the online, what I will say is, if you find a deal, you need to hop on it. Because a lot of times, like, you know, a deal could be here on a Tuesday, and by the time you log back in on a Wednesday, it's gone. So you really have to be prepared to make that purchase, and be careful and look out for like final sale items, because if it's a final sale item, and JCPenney does a lot of that, it will be something that you will not be able to return if you buy it. So just be aware of that when you're making these purchases, because you don't want to get stuck with a bunch of stuff and then you potentially can't return it. And also something to consider, a lot of stores, because they're getting hip to people doing Amazon selling, they're writing within their terms of agreement that, you know, if they kind of have a feeling that that's what you're doing, they won't let you return anyway. So just keep that in mind, especially like if you're at like Burlington, Marshall's, buying up a lot of like baby clothes or hair products or different things like that. You know, you could be buying that and end up getting stuck with it if it's something that you're not able to move. So while we did make a lot of money doing retail arbitrage, baby, online was for the win. We racked up most of our money doing the online arbitrage, and I just like highly recommend that. I feel like some people do sleep on that. Now, you know, of course, you can still make good money doing retail, but I do feel like people sleep on those online deals, and sometimes some of the online deals are just exclusive to like being online, like you can't find them inside of stores. So I would highly recommend you giving that a try. I don't know if y'all are interested in this, but if y'all want me to do another video where like I expound upon how I went about finding deals online, kind of what was my method to doing that, I would be happy to do so. I would just need this video to reach 100 comments first, and let me know in the comments like, hey, go ahead, do that. Put up that next video, because I could do a detailed breakdown of how I was finding these deals, how we were moving so quickly to get things, because my boyfriend and I were doing like a divide and conquer where, you know, if we weren't getting stuff delivered to the house, we were splitting up to go pick it up from the stores. So let me know if that's something that y'all would want to see. Also, let me know if you would like to see a video where I share kind of, I guess, like, what categories, if that makes sense, we ended up doing the best in, and how we were able to use the Amazon selling platform to figure out what products would be in our best interest to sell. So let me know in the comments, and if it gets to 100 comments, then I'll go ahead and put out those videos for you. But if you want to make your first 1,000 easy, quickly, I recommend you doing online arbitrage, hands down. That's what we did, and you know, it was a proven success for us. That's all I have for you now. Until later, bye.